On behalf of Annapolis Green and EVADC, welcome to our Drive Electric Earth Day video. What follows is just a small portion of the EV story of several EV drivers across the DMV.
Hi there, I'm Elvia Thompson from Annapolis Green, and I'm here in the brand new library that will open at some point here on West Street in Annapolis. But I wanted to show you this level 2 charger that's been installed. This has been installed by BGE as part of their program to electrify Maryland. And so this is level 2. This is the next best thing after plugging your electric car into the wall. So you just pull your car up, take the hose out, and plug it right into your car, and you're in business. And depending on your car, you could get about maybe 20 miles, somewhere between 20 miles and 40 miles in an hour. So that's called level 2. Now we're going to walk over here to level 3. This is part of the same installation, but this is way faster. So in this one, you can, in my car, I drive a Chevy Bolt, I can get about 100 miles in about 35 minutes. And it's just terrific. We're so happy that we have these here. There's one other level 3 operating right now in Annapolis.
Hello, my name is Ron Kaltenball, and this is part of my EV story. Oftentimes folks are worried about charging an electric car that it takes a long time. But they forget that when you're charging at home, if that's available to you, it actually saves you time because you've got all those trips to the gas station that go away, plus all those trips to the muffler shop and all those kind of other things that you don't need to do with an EV. You actually save time in the long run with an EV. And even on the road, it can surprise you sometimes. Normally when you're charging on a trip, you're stopping when you stop to get lunch and so forth. And so it adds some time, but not necessarily all that much. And I had a recent trip where fueling my car was even faster than a gas car. I stopped to charge up. I was on a trip where I only needed about 80 or 100 miles of extra range than what my car had. I stopped, plugged the car in, and while it was charging, I went in and went to the bathroom, got a snack and so forth. And when I came out, the car was ready to go. If I was in a gas car, I would have had to pump the gas first, then go in to do stuff in the store. So in that case, fueling electric was faster than gas.
So this is a Tesla Model 3. It's a rear-wheel drive, long-range model. And what I like most about the car is it's environmentally responsible. We need to start getting more electric vehicles so we can help save the planet and help to stop and slow down climate change. And one thing we're trying to do in Annapolis is to build more charging stations so more people can have these cars. Brand new library that's getting built in the city has a couple of chargers there available. We have them. We're trying to put some in down at City Dock downtown. And this is really the best car I've ever driven. You're going to end up trying to find any excuse to drive the car around. And it's even very kid-friendly. Right, Whit? It's a kid-friendly car?
Yes.
Why?
What do you like about it?
The games.
Hi, I'm Hillary, and this is my BMW i3. Come take a look. This is my first electric car, and we absolutely love it. It gets about 115 to 135 miles on a charge, and we have a charger right in our garage, so I charge it at home. One of the things we love about this car is these super cool doors. And the inside of the car is made from all renewable materials, including bamboo and composites. And it's great to never have to go to the gas station, especially during a pandemic.
Hi, my name's Tom. I've been driving an electric car since 2013, so 7 years. During that time, I've driven almost 150,000 miles. Had a great experience, no issues with powertrain or anything else. Maintenance has been pretty limited, just tires and regular issues here and there, windows, that kind of stuff that go wrong with a car that's 7 years old and 150,000 miles. I think I've saved probably about $12,500. If you figure I would have gotten a car that probably had about 30 miles to the gallon, and figure gas is about $2.50 a gallon. It's 5,000 gallons or $12,500. So I've been really happy. I mainly got it for environmental reasons, but it's also been a great vehicle. I use it as my daily driver, and I definitely do it again.
Many EV drivers power their cars with the sun. Whether it's rooftop solar or community solar, there are many choices. For about 1,000 miles of driving a month, or 12,000 miles per year, you need about a dozen solar panels.
Hi, my name is Andy Fraser, and I'm going to talk about charging my 2019 e-Golf at home without any superchargers or special chargers, with only the charger that it comes with. And so here's my e-Golf. I'm going to open up my trunk here, and any new EV or used EV you get will come with a charger that looks very much like this. This is what you plug into your car, and this is just your standard plug. You can plug this in right into an extension cord, which I can do right here. As you see, I have this extension cord. I plug right in here, and then I plug it right in here into this slot right here. And overnight, I get probably 35 to 40 miles in about 12 hours. Could be better if I had less on the same circuit. I didn't do any special wiring or anything to do this. So you understand, a lot of people think that you need to get all these expensive equipment, install all these different expensive equipment to get this done. You don't necessarily need that. You can just use what it comes with. Just depends on how fast you want to charge. In this segment, I'm going to talk about how much does it cost? How much does it really cost compared to gas to charge your electric vehicle? In my case, and in cases, most cases in the United States, you're going to find it is a lot cheaper. For my Toyota Sienna, right across the street here, regular gas car, it's going to cost anywhere between $35 and $60, depending on the cost of gas, to fill up the tank and get 300 miles out of it. If I plug it at home, based on the current 11 or 12 cents per kilowatt hour, it costs me about $12 to go the same distance, 300 miles here. So that's kind of an even comparison. $12 or $35 to $60. And you know, people talk, oh, it's so expensive to get it hooked up at home. Well, it depends on what you need. In my case, I didn't have to buy any extra equipment. I simply got the charger that it came with, I put my extension cord in, I plug it in, and we're good to go. No extra cost except what came with the car.
Hi, I'm going to tell you about a road trip I took recently in an electric car from Washington, D.C. to Austin, Texas. I used fast chargers along the highway, most of them at Walmart's and most of them from a company called Electrify America. In my Chevy Bolt, it took me 11 extra hours over 3 days, more than it would have taken in a gas car. However, I paid 60% of what I would have paid with gas. I stayed at 3 motels in Knoxville, Little Rock, and Austin, and they all had free amenity charging for guests, so I paid nothing. If you made a similar trip in a Model 3 standard range from Tesla, it would take you an extra 6.5 hours. This is because Teslas charge twice as fast as my car and have a bit longer range. And there's an entire family of 200-mile plus cars available now, shown here, highlighted in red, that can make the same kind of road trip that I made. If you're going to make an electric road trip, you should use a planner called, this is one from PlugShare. I use one called the Better Route Planner. And under the charge duration, you can see that the charging times are kind of 20 to 40 minutes. You never have to charge the car all the way up. You only charge up to what you need to get to the next charger. So get an electric car, charge that sucker, and I'll see you on the road.
Today's video is long distance planning for your electric vehicle. You can see here we have a Better Route Planner, which is a route planning tool for electric vehicles. It has some wonderful algorithms that it uses to plot out our trips. And you can see here that I've plotted a trip from Annapolis, Maryland to New York City. And it's telling me that I need to make one stop in Newcastle, Delaware on my way. And it shows me my departure state of charge, my arrival state of charge, and then I'll have to charge for 16 minutes in order to get to New York with 15% state of charge in my Chevy Bolt EV. I've previously added in all the parameters for the Chevy Bolt, and it knows how my car works, and it uses a wonderful algorithm in order to plot these trips out. From there, I can share this map right to Google Maps or some other mapping program so that I can use it in my car to navigate directly to the charger. It works wonderfully well. And then from there, we also like to use another planning tool. This is called PlugShare. This is a crowdsourced application that allows us to see just what the cost is for charging. People check in there. It has maps. It tells us how many stations there are. And you can see here that this particular charger in Wilmington, Delaware, Newcastle, Delaware, has a score of 10, which means it's very reliable, it's up and running, it's not often crowded, and that it's easily available. So these are just two tools that we use quite often for planning. I've taken a number of long distance trips in my Chevy Bolt, and it's been quite easy using these tools. Thanks for watching.
There are 3 levels of EV charging. Level 1, any normal outlet, which will give you 4 to 5 miles of added range per hour. Level 2, a 240 volt circuit like used for a dryer. Generally 12 to 46 miles of added range per hour depending on the amps and the car. Level 3, DC fast charger. There are 3 types in the US that give you between 50 and 200 miles of added range in 30 minutes.
Hi, my name is Vanessa Thomas, and I thought I'd tell you a little bit about my Zero S motorcycle. This is my 2016 Zero S motorcycle. It's 100% electric, and I bought it used in 2018. It's actually my second Zero. I had the 2012 S before this, and I absolutely loved it. I turned in the 2012 and bought this in 2018. You might notice that it says SR on the side. It's actually an S. I was told that the previous owner wanted to replace the cover, wanted to change the color or something, and used an SR cover instead. So it says SR even though it is an S. And you'll see that it's an ZF13, which means the battery is a 13 kilowatt hour battery. And I don't recall what the max range is that Zero claimed for this bike. I know it was over 150 miles of range. I haven't actually tested it myself. One day I'll do that. I'm confident that, we'll have no problem going over 150 miles with reasonable riding. If I rode it, 70 miles per hour or something on the highway the whole time, it'd probably be closer to 100. I've had no problem getting 100 miles on it on the highway. When I've ridden around on the highway, I've ridden it up to Baltimore and back to the DC area where I live multiple times. Had no problems with the range, but I haven't ever actually brought the battery down to 0 or close to 0, so I don't know what the max range is. Like I said, one of these days I'll test it out and see how far it can actually go. Just take a walk around here. One of the cool things about this bike is that it came with a charge tank. That means I can use level 2 charging. It's a J1772 connector there. And I'm told that from 0 to about 95% would take about 3 hours to fully charge this. I actually haven't used it much myself. I've only used it a couple of times for fun. It's handy if you're going somewhere that there's level 2 charging, you can use it, but most of the time I just use level 1 charging, and I just charge it here in my garage at home, and it just plugs into the wall and then plugs into the port on the bike here, and it's good to go. Green light will come on the screen to let you know that it's charging. And this bike also has the option, if you don't get the charge tank, that this is actually storage here, which is kind of nice. You have a little storage area built into the bike, the tank area. You can see that it's pretty much fully charged already. I haven't done a whole lot of riding lately, but I'll turn on the instrument cluster here so you can see what that looks like. You'll see in the upper right that it says Eco Mode. You can change the mode. There is a custom mode that you can set yourself. I actually haven't played around with that, but you can decide what kind of range and torque balance that you want. If you want maximum fun, maximum torque, you get sport mode. So if you're not worried about your range, you just put it on sport mode and have fun. Most of the time I ride it in eco mode, and that is enough for me. And the bike is fully on right now. The ignition switch is on. It's ready to go. Got a red light flashing because the kickstand is down, but once you put that up, you're good to go. And this is this is as much sound as it makes when it's on. You'll notice that it also has a windshield. That's not standard with the bike. You have to add that yourself. The previous owner added that, so that was a nice little bonus. One thing I didn't mention is that there's these cool cubby holes on the bike. I actually bought a second charger cord. You can see the one is plugged in right now, but I have one that I carry with me. And whenever I'm out and about, if I need a charge, I can just plug it into any regular wall outlet and I'm good to go. That's my Zero.
Thanks for watching our EV Stories video. We close with links to resources to additional EV information. For a current list of fully electric and plug-in electric vehicles, check out the EVADC info sheet at evadc.org/EVinfo. We encourage you to consider an EV for your next vehicle and look forward to hear about your EV story.